right, so let's hop right into it. Okay, so this is how the week looks all set up, and what I typically do is I go through each one of my calendars and I fill in the week. So I found out that in order to see my personal schedule, I need to have it right next to my work schedule. That has been working great for me because typically what'll happen is I'll set up, say like I'll have two separate planners, one for my work and one for my personal schedule. And I would set both of the weeks up, but I will only be using my work planner because, I need it for work. Whereas my personal planner, I wasn't even looking in it. So ever since I combined the two to have work on this side and personal on this side, I've been way more organized, and it's easier to set up because it's just, instead of setting up 2 pages for personal and then 2 pages for work, I'm just setting up 2 pages for both. So it's make the planning process and like the decorating process, which I do enjoy thoroughly. It's made it more manageable for me because I don't have a lot of time, but I still want my planner to be pretty. So this little sticky note I'm going to take out. I do use sticky notes for like little reminders that I need to do, but they're probably a ways off and they don't have like a specific date that I need to do them by, but I don't want to forget about them. So if I need to move it week to week, I'll go ahead and put it on a sticky note until I get it done. And then I'll write in whatever the item is on the sticky note into my planner to so I can cross it off in the week that I did it. So that's mostly what I use sticky notes for. This side, I'm going to go ahead and set up my personal side. It is already Tuesday. Well, it's Monday night that I'm recording this. So I do have to do a little back planning, but I wanted to plan with you guys, plan this week out with you guys so that you know how I'm going to go ahead and use my June spreads because I don't anticipate the setup being much different. So enough talking, let's just hop right in. I am going to have to flip back and forth to my May calendar. I'm going to see what I need to put down for this week as far as my personal schedule. I'm just going to set this side up. On the 18th, I have a birthday. So what I'll do is anything that is time sensitive, I'll write it right here on this side of the page. And then anything that's like a to-do list item that I need to get done that day, I'll write it on this side of the column. Since it's a birthday, it's time sensitive, but I don't have a specific time. So I'll draw like a little present to denote that it's a birthday. And then I'll write the person's name. And then I'll put a comma and then I'll put their age. Okay, on the 19th, I have a half day at work. Let's see, for a half day, I'll do like a little asterisk just to denote that it's a note to myself. So I'll put half day at work, and then that day is payday for me. So I'll go ahead and I could put it on this side, but it's not really going to stand out for me. So I like to put it right here that it's just payday. And I do write in friction pins as well. So I'll be going in between, back and forth in between the friction pins and the shuttle art ink pen. We do have a credit card due on the 21st. I am going to put a little dot. Anything with a dot mean that it's a task. I want to remind myself that our Sapphire card is due, and it's not set up on auto pay, so that's just going to be a reminder for me to go in and pay it. And setting it up as a task will like if I forget, like did I pay it, not pay it, and I don't feel like checking my account, I can just when I pay it, I can just cross it off, and then if I need to remember, I can just reference here if I don't want to go into like log in to my account and see if I paid it or not. So on the 4th, I see that I want to post the monthly reset for June. So when I'm setting up this week, the last week in May, then I'm going to write down in here in my actual weekly planner all the things that I need to do in order to make this video happen. So my monthly resets, I try to go to Costco and do a Costco haul, set up my planners, like the monthly calendar part of my planners and things like that. So I'll write down in the week like everything that I need to do in order to make the video happen. So for the 21st, I want to post, and I put a little exclamation mark, which right now is serving as like something like important. And this I'm putting post. And on the 21st of May, I want to post a plan with me for June, which coincidentally is what the video that you guys are watching now. So at the recording of this video, it's Tuesday, so I'm going to write down all the things that I need to do in order to get ready to post this video that you're actually watching. So even though this is May, my June setups are not going to differ. So I'm planning this week out with you guys just so you can know how I'm going to use the weeklies that I'm setting up for June, if that makes sense. So these are 2 items that I need to do, and I am going to write it right here. This is like my YouTube to-do list that goes right here, and I will write that down once I get to that portion. So let me finish checking my actual personal calendar to see if I have anything else that needs to go in this calendar portion of my weekly. Okay, so I do want to write a few things down, that like a few to-dos that I've been trying to kind of like get on the schedule. I've been trying to do wash all of our whites on Fridays just because the whites take the longest. Okay, and then on Saturdays I am trying to prep lunch for the week. So just doing what I need to do, whether that's washing veggies or pre-making something so I have it available during the week. But I'm trying to do that on Saturdays. So far it's been hit or miss, but at least this will be a reminder for me to do that. And then I did write down something that's been carrying over the last couple of weeks, where I need to schedule the girls' 18-month wellness check. So that's just a reminder to do that. Okay, so that's pretty much everything that's going on. And I try not to have too many things over here because I do work outside of the home and I do have a pretty long commute. So it's not much that I can get done, maybe 1 or 2 things during the week. So I try to keep sticking to like really important to-dos and try not to like weigh it down with a whole bunch of things that don't really matter and won't really like matter whether I do them or not. So these are kind of like the items that I want to get done and things that like, especially the lunch prep, that will make a difference for the next upcoming week. So and now we're going to move on to the social media portion, is where I write it right here. Okay, so I am a little bit behind, sort of, just because this plan with me video, I'm supposed to have like everything ready to go and like it edited before Saturday. And then once Saturday comes, I'm getting ready for the video that I need to post on the 28th, which is the budget and meal planner video for July. So ideally, I'm supposed to be getting ready to record that video and doing what I need to do in order to record that video. But like I said, I am behind. So I am going to write down 2 videos right here, which is the plan with me that you're watching right now. So plan with me June. And then for that, I do film, edit, upload, thumbnail. So these are the major steps that need to get done in order for me to have that video ready to be posted on time on the 21st. If I succeeded, then you will be watching this video on the 21st. If not, it will be late. So right now I am in the process of filming, so I'll put a slash through it if I'm in the process of completing the task. And then once it's done, I'll put another slash through it to make an X to say that the project is done. If the task requires multiple steps, I'll start it with an arrow to let me know like, hey, this is the major task that I'm trying to get done. And then all of the subtasks underneath will be dots. So the next video that I need to record that I'm actually supposed to be getting ready for now is the budget and meal planner for July, which is so crazy that I'm planning this far ahead, but that has been one of the I guess secrets to my success of posting consistently is that I have to prepare my planners and my videos far ahead of time, so I'll have enough time to edit and film and all that kind of stuff without feeling rushed, because I definitely can't keep up with like a weekly plan with me or something like that. So I am finding that this setting up so far ahead is actually working for me, productivity wise and YouTube wise. So I'm going to write the same film, edit, upload, thumbnail for this budget and meal planner for July video that I need to get ready for. And of course, I have not started any of these, so I'm not going to like put a slash through any of them. So that is like the major steps that I need to do in order to post this video. But now remember, I said that I have to do these two things in order to get this video that you're watching right now up on time. So what I'll do is under here, I'll start my to-do list with single tasks. So I'll put a dot to denote that it is a task, and then I'll rewrite the set up June weeklies, which I'm going to do for this video that you're watching right now. I'm basically writing down all the things that I need to do in this filming portion to remind me what I'm actually going to be filming in the videos. And these are not going to be in any particular order. It's just as they come to me, just so I don't forget. And then I'm going to do a plan with me, and then I'm going to write the week just so I don't forget which week I wanted to record, May 15th through the 21st. So I'm doing this plan with me right now, and then I still need to set up my June weeklies. And then I'm just going to look back over my weeks and see, like, as far as the shop, what I need to do, what's carrying over, so that I can get that much closer to its launch, which it's proven to be way more steps, and I'm not gonna say more difficult, it's just more time consuming than I had expected. So this is everything I need to do for YouTube. I try to keep it like short and concise, because if I write down every single step, I find that I'll get easily overwhelmed and I'll just fall off again, and I won't, I'll lose my momentum with posting consistently. So for right now, this is just the YouTube section. Let me flip back and see what I need to do for the shop. Okay, so these are the major items that I need to get done for the shop. These are less of a priority than YouTube, so they're equally as important, but they're just number two on my to-do list. So I'll try to do those like while I'm on my lunch. That's when I try to get the stuff for the shop done, because I do take my iPad with me and I'll do like what I can in order to stay consistent. So that's one of the things too, is no matter how small, I'm trying to do like something for either YouTube or the shop every day, just to keep the momentum going and keeping me in the habit of getting things done. So for the shop, I need to update the listing descriptions. There's a lot of them. So these are my D-stash listings. So I need to update the descriptions. I need to edit the listing photos, and I need to update the listings with the edited photos. So that's going to be a couple weeks worth of getting this done. So I'll just carry those forward. So the other two things that I need to do is I need to print the drill down budget light version for July, so that I can do this budget and meal planner video. So I need that in order to film, because I am going to be using the new template that I came up with for the light planner. And then I do need to create start working on a sticker template slash like kit for the stickers that I want to introduce, like my personal designs that I want to introduce to the shop. So that one in particular is going to be a couple weeks as well, but I can go ahead and print this drill down budget light planner for my July film with me. And it's actually important that I do that, because then I can get started on the filming of the budget and meal planner. And you know what? I'll actually put that as a task list, just so that I know on Saturday that I want to start filming the budget and meal planner. So that means I need to get down with editing like this video. I need to finish filming it, editing it, uploading it, and creating a thumbnail all before Saturday, if I want to make sure that I'm on time with filming this budgeted meal planner video. And even though this is like a subtask of getting this budget and meal planner video filmed, I don't want to write this task over here just because this space is limited and I might come up with like more to-dos that I need to get done so that I can film this video. So I'm just going to keep this as like a running to-do list, whatever comes to mind for the shop or YouTube. So that's pretty much it for like how I plan my personal calendar and my content calendar to-dos. So moving on to the work side of my planner. This one is going to be really quick because I'm not going to write down everything that I need to do. I'm just going to show you kind of like what I do on this side. So anything from the prior week, just like I did with the content calendar to-dos, anything that's not fully checked off in the prior week, I'll migrate it over here. This is like a running to-do for work. So and I'll do like the same type of arrow with the dots as subtasks. So I do need to pull this calendar that I set up, which is my work calendar. So I use this just to plan out like the monthly calendar portion for work because the monthly calendar portion in this planner is strictly for my personal. And I do take this out and about with me, and I write my personal in here and I keep my work in here because I don't need my work monthly calendar in this planner. Like it'd be nice to have them together, but it's not like absolutely necessary. So for this week, I have a couple of deadlines and meetings. So I do color code. So let me get all the colors so I can tell you guys. Normally I use all of these colors, but I did recently pick up this Friction multi-pen. I don't know the exact like name of these type of pens, but it's when you have like 4 colors in one pen. So I'm just going to call it a multi-pen for now. And in this one, it has the regular black, blue, green, and red, which is primarily what I use in my work planner since I color code. So I'm going to go ahead and put all 4 of these off to the side because for the most part replaced by this one multi-pen, but I do still use oh, this wasn't supposed to be here. I do still use these 3 colors occasionally as needed. Let's take a look at what is due this week for work. I know for sure that I needed to do payroll, which I am behind on. I would write it over here because like I said, when I need to roll over a task from the prior week, I usually put it right here, but I want to keep it front and center. I do the same thing as my personal schedule. I will write the task over here, and anything that's time sensitive, I'll write it over here. So I'm not going to write out every single thing, but just to give you like an idea of how I use this side for work. And as you can see, I don't have any weekends because I don't work on the weekends. I do have some recurring meetings on Wednesdays. So for meetings, I do the little time clock and then managers at 9, and then I have a team meeting every Wednesday at 2. So that's how I schedule in meetings. I do need to do payroll again already. So I need to do payroll here and then payroll bill back. And then let's see, I need to write in that we have a half day on Friday. We do work in the morning, so it is a paid company half day, which is very nice. And I do have a deadline on this day, which means that I need to get it done on this day, and I'll write that in. But we do have a all employee mandatory meeting that morning, which is nice because that will eat up maybe like an hour of the 4 hours that we have to be there that day, which I need to make sure that I have all of my stuff done for the week because I'm only going to have 3 hours on Friday to get whatever I need to get done. So that, and then I'm just going to see like what I can show you that I'll write over here. I did have to post something to unclaimed funds for two things. So this is what I, again, how I use, like, this is my task. These are the two subtasks, and I already did them, so I can go ahead and cross them off to let me know that those were done, and I'll like fill that in off camera. But basically, that's how I fill in my weekly planner section. All right. That time again to get into the June meal calendar. So let's go ahead and get started. With May's calendar, I feel like the editing was atrocious, so I did a little something to make the process easier, and I think you guys will find it helpful as well. So I made like a little meal list ahead of time. So I figured out how many meals I would need in order to have everything ready to write on this calendar, and then I wrote like a little kids section for what the kids lunch is supposed to be. So for my weekly calendar, I wouldn't have to guess or like think about meals at all throughout the month of June because everything is already here. These are my lunches that I want to make for myself. I've got the charcuterie board I'm still working on, but that's okay because the charcuterie board is mostly for me and hubby, whereas the lunch, I need to know what that is ahead of time. I'll figure out the charcuterie board a little later, but again, I'm not really pressed about it. So let's go ahead and set up our themes. So they're still working for us. So I'm gonna carry over the last week of May this week to this calendar, so I can go ahead and flip the calendar on May 28th. So May 28th is chicken nuggets and fries. We're gonna have to get rid of these, like reduce these chicken nugget meals because our kids barely even finish the chicken nuggets. I don't know. Like they eat them, but they don't. I'm gonna go ahead and highlight any days off and any holidays. So let me finish writing that. This is Memorial Day. Okay, so that is the last week of May transferred over to the June calendar. Let's finish copying down Brenner on Wednesdays because that is definitely a hit. I am going to highlight the holidays in this pink just to match this little rose. Okay, so leftovers is still going to be on Thursdays. Probably in July, I'll make like come up with meals for Thursday because what's supposed to happen is that hubby is supposed to cook Tuesday's meal and make enough so that we have leftovers on Thursday as well. But he doesn't do that. He preferred to just cook the meal over. So this double batching on Tuesday so we have leftovers on Thursday it's not clicking with him. So I asked him if he wanted me to come up with a meal for Thursdays, and he said that probably be best. So I'll probably do that for July and then see how that goes. So if you count the rest of the boxes, it should be 20 boxes. So that is how I figured out how many meals I would need in this section of my meal list because this is 20 meals. So some of them are repeated. They're not all unique. Like, for example, I have 2 baked spaghettis, which is okay because that's a family favorite. And I just want to make sure that we're eating the meals that I know my family likes. Let's see. I'm going to switch over to my, in this planner, this is my personal planner. So I'm going to switch over to my monthly section so I can see like when we're going to be busy on the weekends and block that off. So I know Father's Day is on this Sunday, but we're not celebrating Father's Day with the family. So I'm not expecting to go anywhere. So I think we're celebrating like with the family Mother's Day and Father's Day on Memorial Day because the family is coming together on Memorial Day. So I'm not expecting to do anything Father's Day weekend or on Juneteenth. So yeah, June is pretty free other than my husband's graduation is this month from his undergrad. So we'll go to that and then we'll go to dinner after that. But otherwise, other than us trying to make a trip out of state this month, we'll have to see how that goes. Okay, so that is my personal planner. I don't have to block off any days that we're expected to eat out. So let's go ahead and fill in our meals. So mostly a lot of these are going to be chicken because that's how I set it up. I usually like to do 3 days of one meat and then 2 days of another meat just to switch it up and keep it fresh throughout the week and we're not eating the same thing. So I'm going to start with the recipes that are new because I like to put those on Saturdays just because that is the best day to like try new recipes without having to rush to get the meal on the table. All right, so that magically worked out. So I have on the 10th, which is this column is a Saturday. So I have a chicken bacon ranch tortilla, um, dump and bake meatball casserole, grilled Hawaiian chicken teriyaki bowl, and then chicken lettuce wraps, which are all new recipes. Typically with new recipes, I'm getting it off of Pinterest, but this P doesn't stand for Pinterest. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. So this is where I got the recipes from, but the P means that it's a printed recipe. So more about that later, but I'll circle back to that to show you guys what I do with my printed recipes and just like the recipes in general that we have on paper around the house, like our books and stuff like that. So now I'm going to fill in the rest of the calendar. So on Fridays, I typically cook, but I also work that day. So I try to give myself the easiest recipes because I already know if I'm tired, I'm not cooking. So I try to stick with meals that are simple and really just warm up in the oven or boil some water and it's done type of thing. So we'll do cheese ravioli this day. And then I have cheese tortellini that surprisingly our oldest twin Isla, she has not been liking spaghetti sauce, like just red sauce in general. So we've had to like figure out stuff whenever we're having like our baked spaghettis or just anything with red sauce, red pasta sauce. But yesterday she did eat the cheese tortellini with some pasta sauce on it. Like mind you, I did do it like really light, but you know, still enough that it coated all of the pastas and things. And she ate it all up. So I was glad to see that, and I'm hoping that stays like that because I've noticed that with the kids, they'll have their picky moments, but it doesn't last forever. So it'll last for like a couple weeks, maybe like a month or so, but eventually they do bounce back. I try not to take meals completely off the table. If they ate it before, like I'll just reduce the number of times that I plan to make that meal. Okay, so these other Fridays, I'm gonna do mac and cheese. Wrote that one completely wrong, but it's okay. So scratch those off. So just in case you're wondering, I'm just scratching off the list that I made as I schedule these in. And what I'm keeping in mind is that I'm making sure that I have a balanced number of meals to go on each week. So each week we're going to have chicken and then some type of other protein like beef or fish or something like that. So I am going to put the more involved recipes on Monday or Tuesday. And by involved, I still mean they're pretty easy. Just we might have to make like sides and all that kind of good stuff. So I am going to do the kid friendly stuff on Sundays. So we do have another chicken nuggets and fries from May the 28th, but I just have one more because like I said, I am reducing the chicken nuggets and fries. So I'm not going to put chicken nuggets and fries on Sunday. I think my husband would have a cow, but everything else is pretty simple. So I have salmon patties and veggies for one meal and then salmon patties and fries for another meal. So I'm gonna do salmon patties, veggies, and bacon wrapped asparagus just for me and hubby, just so that Father's Day meal is a little bit more elevated and you know it's more Father's Day worthy, but it's still sticking to my meal plan. So I'll probably cook that meal on Sunday and give hubby a break. We'll do salmon patties and fries this day. And then we'll do chicken quesadilla and veggies this day. And then lemon shrimp pasta that we tried recently, like a recipe we tried recently that was actually pretty good. And this is a printed recipe, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then we're gonna put the other fish or seafood item with other seafood items, so that way, even though they are different proteins, we'll go ahead and try to keep the groups together, like seafood in the seafood week, like seafood and chicken. This one I haven't figured out quite yet, but it'll be what's in here: meatball casserole, which is beef, bacon, which is pork, and then this week is chicken. So we can batch the protein as much as possible. I'm going to concentrate on making this a beef week and then making this a chicken week with the rest of the recipes. So I'm going to do chicken taquitos that we get from Costco on this day. We're going to do baked spaghetti and baked spaghetti. We usually have leftovers for those, so just to help hubby have leftovers on Thursday, so we'll do that. And then all we have are 2 kid-friendly meals and then 2 Italian sausage and couscous. So let's see, on Juneteenth, that's a Monday, I am off this day. I completely missed that this is a day off and we're going out to eat this day. So actually, let me move this lemon shrimp pasta somewhere. I want to have the Italian sausage and couscous, and then Italian sausage and couscous. Okay, so all I have left is chicken nuggets and fries and corn dogs and veggies. So my kids do like corn dogs, so what I'm gonna do is scratch out the chicken nuggets and fries, as I write it. So I'm just going to scratch out and not use the chicken nuggets and fries that I wrote down and do honey corn dogs because my kids like those better, and veggie. And then I'm gonna just move over this lemon shrimp pasta and then nothing here because we are going to eat out this day. All right, so that is all of the 20 meals that I wrote down right here, and then they're on the calendar right here. I don't write down any lunches or the stuff from the charcuterie board or the kids corner because that's the stuff that's going to go on the weekly meal plan. So that is June's meal calendar. So I'm going to go and hang that up on the wall when I get up next. So I had already gotten started on setting up the weekly meal plan. So this is already set up for this next upcoming week, May 22nd through the 28th. And I had literally just started like doing this weekly meal plan spread last week. So I didn't get very far because I thought of it and started it late, but I got started on it early this week. So after this video, I am going to get up and walk around the house and see what all we need to order for groceries based on these meals, and then see what we need to restock in the house. But this is like just to show you from what I did on the meal calendar, like how that translates to this weekly meal plan. Okay, so I'm gonna flip back to the May calendar. So as you can see, let's see if I can get all of this in frame. So as you can see, the 22nd through the 28th, which is, and I wrote it right here, this is the meal plan: bacon mac and cheese, couscous, Brenner, leftovers, ravioli, fish sticks and fries, and then chicken nuggets and fries. So that is how this calendar translates over to here. And then once I write down the meal plan from this calendar, what I then do is from this meal list that I created, I'll go and I'll write down like, oh, which lunch am I going to have this week? This is June, so kind of don't mind it, but I see like, oh, what lunch do I want to have from this list? And then I'll go ahead and write it in this section right here. This section is for like my lunches for the week. And then this section down here is for the kids' lunches. So I did it 4 rows across, which they have like a DIY Lunchable where there's meat, cheese, and I just call it carbs. So like the crackers could be really anything, just something that'll help fill them up. And then I give them a fruit instead of like candy or stuff like that. And then of course they have juice or water or whatever they want. I'll go across a row and then I'll write that right here so that when I'm making my grocery list, I don't miss the things that I need for lunch and for the kids' DIY Lunchables. And then again, that's the restock section. And then this is where the charcuterie board comes into play. So right here is the charcuterie board. I have 8 like meal ideas for it. And then I just made like a little line, just like a small one, just to break up visually that this is 2 meals, this is 2 meals, and so on and so forth. So this is a weekend, and then I'll just go ahead and pick like whichever one I'm feeling like for that weekend. So I'll just take one and then I'll write 1 meal right here, 1 meal right here. This weekend we're going to be doing sliders and chips, and then we're going to do just some party wings. So for these 2 meals, I have like a little section where I can write specifically for these meals what I need ingredients wise. So for the sliders and chips, I need dinner rolls, chips, deli meat, sliced cheese, and mayo. And we already have mustard, so that's not on here. So that way, this is like the shopping list for this meal, and then the same thing for chicken wings. I need chicken wings, wing sauce, carrots, and a veggie dip because that's what I want to have on this day. This day is gonna probably be Saturday's meal, and then this is gonna be Sundays just because the sliders are easier. But anyways, and then this will be the space that on both days, these are the items that I want us all to enjoy. So it'll be like more fruit. It'll be like crackers, like it'll be whatever it is that will complement both of these meals to make it more of like a charcuterie board. If you don't know what a charcuterie board is, it's basically just like a snack board. What items can I offer on both days that will round out or, complement these 2 main meals or main entrees or main appetizers, whatever you want to call it. So that is what I do to meal plan for the week, in addition to my weekly personal schedule, which I do like a couple pages back up here. So you guys should have already seen me set up my weekly. So child, I done ended the video and everything. Completely forgot to tell you guys about the peas and things that I mentioned earlier. So on the recipes where it's a new recipe to us, in parentheses, I'll put like the source we got it from so we could find it again if we need to, and if it's a printed recipe, let me just show you. This chicken bacon ranch tortilla recipe is from Pinterest. It means that it's a printed recipe. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and print out all of these recipes, and I got one of these like clear paper holders. Usually I use these with the kids, but if you like, I'll link I got them from Amazon, so I'll link the link down below. But typically I'll use these for the kids, but I took a couple for myself because I thought it was a good idea to print out the recipes ahead of time and then put them all in here. So these are just printed recipes that we are using that the family has liked. We've made it before. We're just keeping our printed recipes in here. And then as for HelloFresh, we were using HelloFresh for a while. I do recommend it, but we stopped it just because we found that we were having to cook the HelloFresh for like us and Bryce, and then having to cook separate recipes for the girls. So like not every single time, because they do have some kid friendly recipes, but the recipes we wanted to try, like this, definitely recommend this recipe. But this at the time, the girls weren't able to eat or they didn't really like it. So we were having to cook other things for them. But anyways, we kept all of our HelloFresh recipe cards and we keep it in this little clear binder thingy thing. And we labeled it HelloFresh recipes. So if we ever need a HelloFresh recipe, we know where to go. And then, so this is all of our printed recipes, right? So let me stick this back in here. So this is all the ones that we printed that we're not using at the moment, but we can use it for future meal plans. What I do typically is when I am making the month's meal plan, I'll use one that says this month's recipes so that I can put everything that we are making for this month. If it needs like a recipe, like HelloFresh or printed off the internet, we put it in here so that when we're going to cook throughout whatever month that we're in, this is all of the recipes that we need for that month. And then when I'm doing this, where I'm setting up the next month, I have another one where it's next month's recipes. So if I need something from out of here to go in here, like I'm remaking the recipe, it's perfectly fine. When the month is over, I take it out of here and then I put in next month's. Or actually, I'll leave it and then I'll take next month's out and put it in here. So we're currently in May, but the rest of the meals we don't need any recipes for, so this recipe thingy thing is gone. So as we make the recipes throughout the month, whatever recipe we don't need anymore, we'll put it back in either one of these. So if it's a HelloFresh, it goes back in here. If it's printed, it goes back in here. So that's how this becomes empty over the months. So I had already set aside June's recipes because again, we're still in May at when I'm recording this, but it's about to be June. So it's like the last week of May. So I feel comfortable with transferring the next month's, which is June's recipes, to this month recipe because it's about to be June. So let me just see that I make sure that I have all of the recipes that I need. This is the chicken bacon ranch tortilla recipe. So I have that. On the day where I'm making the grilled Hawaiian chicken teriyaki bowl, I wanted to try slow cooker teriyaki chicken, and then this is the actual chicken teriyaki bowl. So I'm not going to be following the chicken recipe in this one and doing this one instead, but I wanted to remember all of the things that was in this bowl and then eventually try making the chicken teriyaki from this recipe. But these two are together for the grilled Hawaiian chicken teriyaki bowl. And then apparently this had a second page. Okay, and then another one was the dump and bake meatball casserole, which is this one. And then I wanted to try a recipe, a steak and asparagus quinoa bowl recipe. So that's this right here. But instead of quinoa, I'm going to substitute it with couscous so that I can make that for lunch one week. So those are all the meals for June that we're going, all of the recipes that we're going to need for June. So I'm going to put it in this month's recipe little folder thing. I don't know what to call this. Protective sleeve. And I'm going to put it down where we keep our recipes so that when it's time to cook a meal, and like you saw me put on the actual meal calendar, like that's where this little P comes from. So all of these P's. So when my husband looks at the calendar, he knows that this is a printed recipe. And if it's a HelloFresh recipe, then I'll just put a H, and then it'll like all recipes will still be in this month's recipe protective sleeve. So it doesn't really matter, but just in case, like say 6 months from now, I liked one of these weeks, this P or H or whatever will tell me like where I got this recipe from. So yeah, that's basically how that works. So yeah, so if you made it this far, thank you for watching the video until the end. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. It tells YouTube that it's a good video and it will recommend it to others, which helps me out. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.